All right, I'm Kyle Long here for CBS Sports HQ, and we've got David Montgomery, star running back from the Detroit Lions. I got to speak to you mid-season, and you let America know the nicknames for you and Jahmyr Gibbs, Sonic and Knuckles. What has transpired since then, since you got a nickname? Has that blown up in your own life?
Yeah, I like to say so. In his own right, it did. But it was cool. It's a nice, cool little nickname. Jahmyr definitely fast as all get out, and I think I'm pretty strong too, so it works out.
Now, did you guys come up with this, or did people just start calling you that in the building?
Nah, so crazy thing is, like a year ago, a fan on Twitter, one of our teammates named Craig Reynolds, another running back in our room, he brought it to our attention. He was like, bro, y'all should be called like Sonic and Knuckles. And he showed us the tweet, and I'm like, that is kind of hard. And then we changed our profile picture, so it ended up being super cool.
So I really love that nicknames. O-linemen never get nicknames, but you're definitely a guy who deserves it. I got to block for you in Chicago, and when you came in as a young buck, man, I just knew you were a hard worker. You didn't say a lot. You kept your head down. You hit the damn correct holes, which I appreciate. That's something that they set up well for you in Detroit. Can you talk to me about the impact Ben Johnson had on that offense and what you think they're going to be inheriting in Chicago with him now as the head coach?
Yeah. Being a part of Ben's scheme and offense, it's super, super complex, but once you get it down, like, it makes so much sense and it helps. I wish him nothing but luck, but like Saint said, we'll see him 2 times a year, so excited about that. And those guys over there, they got great, talented guys over there, so they'll definitely be lucky to have Ben. So I'm excited to see what they'll do.
So I know you dealt with an injury at the end. You came back quicker than expected. Have you been able to enjoy your off season, or have you been in the training facility rehabbing? Have you been able to bowl at all? I know you're a big bowler.
Yeah, I bowled. I actually bowled last week. I've been good. I have been rehabbing my knee a little bit more, and it's good though. Like it's in a great place. Training's getting ready to start back here real soon for me. So yeah, everything's been pretty good.
Now, what would you have to say to fans outside of Detroit who have some doubts about maybe the strength of this staff moving forward? Obviously, Dan Campbell is still the head coach. That culture still trickles down from the top. But there's a lot of bright minds and bright spots in that staff who are out of the building. What do you have to say about the new guys stepping up into bigger roles?
The guys that are stepping up, nowhere in the world. They were doing their role or handling their role like they were the top in their role already. So I'm excited for those guys who earned that spot to be able to, be who they are for this team. For the new guys that's coming in, I know they'll be ready because Coach Campbell and Brad handpicked them. So they don't really bring in people who are culture vultures. They bring in people who are supposed to be there, who kind of wear the term grit. So I'm excited.
That's really what I see when I see that football team is grit. And even at the end of the season, when you guys were decimated defensively, Coach Glenn had those guys, and credit to those guys who were out there as well on the defensive side of the ball, competing down in, down out. That's why I never had a loss of faith in that Detroit Lions team. Had a lot of fun watching you guys this season. Are you down to play some games with me today? I got a couple of games for you. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is NFL Rapid Fire. It's going to be a couple minutes long. If you were a commissioner for a day, is there a rule you would add or subtract from the game?
The hitting on the quarterback.
What do you mean by that?
It's not really a rule, but like I think I'd change the way that they are officiating who can and how they can touch the quarterback.
Yeah, like I remember when Justin Fields was in Chicago, they just weren't calling penalties against people that were hitting him late or in the head when he was sliding.
For sure.
So you think there's some guys that the rules don't pertain to?
I'm not going to say that on this.
Okay.
You can say it.
I'm just making sure. Well, you're the commissioner for a day, so you get to change the rule. So you would like to take a closer look at the equality of penalties against quarterbacks or lack thereof. I think that would be a smart place to start because we don't know what's what with that rule.
For sure.
Okay, question number 2. Do you have any pregame rituals, meals, or superstitions that people may not know about?
I eat the same thing every time. I eat chicken, spaghetti, and fruit.
So I used to do the steak and spaghetti.
Yeah.
Because, it's either you go chicken or steak before the game, right?
Yeah, I do the same thing, yeah.
They got those little fillets.
The small one,
Maybe 2 steaks and spaghetti for me.
With the grill marks on them?
Yes, like they drew them on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Drake or Kendrick? Drake.
For sure.
Me too.
Yeah, Drake, for sure.
We got to look around when we say that in case anybody
no disrespect to Kendrick. I've just been a Drake fan forever.
And shout out to Kendrick, though.
Yeah, for sure.
He's awesome.
All love, yep.
But there's different flavors.
No question.
Way different flavors. Okay. The weirdest thing about you.
Oh, the weirdest thing about me. I'm infatuated with the Joker.
With the Joker.
Yeah.
Which one?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Heath Ledger.
Rest easy.
An absolute legend.
Yeah, for sure. Bar enough, the best performance acting ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's hard to argue with.
You can't argue.
What are some other ones that you would say would be up there in terms of acting performances?
I'd say Denzel Washington in Training Day.
I liked him in Remember the Titans.
That also.
He took him to the graveyard.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm big. I love movies. So like any movie that has some kind of thrill or it's like super. I don't like the movies that are just action and adventures. I like the thriller movies that make you think, like Tenet, stuff like that.
Tenet.
Inception.
See, I'm not a thinking movie guy. I'm like, take me on a journey. So sometimes when I watch movies, I really relate to the main character, and it helps me in my job, especially when I was playing football. I would watch these movies. Sometimes they'd be military movies, historical movies, and I'd be like, I can take a little bit of that and bring it to the field. What's the last movie that you saw that you were inspired by?
Oh, man, the last movie that I was inspired by, I don't know. I don't think I got any movies that I was really inspired by, honestly.
Did you see the new Gladiator?
No, I hadn't.
I gotta check that out. I'll get your review after you watch it.
I gotta watch the first one before I watch the second. I haven't watched the first one.
You haven't watched, so that might be the weirdest thing about you.
Yeah, that might. Everybody does know that movie. I don't know. I haven't.
You would
been
love
that
movie.
Yeah, I think I seen 300, and I'm like, it's kind of. I know it's similar. I didn't really love it.
It's way more gully than 300.
All right, cool. I gotta watch it then.
Way more gully than 300.
Just for you.
Okay, 300 was a little, I think they painted those abs on anyway. My guy Gladiator was out there doing the real thing.
I hear. I got to go check it out.
So what was your first sports memory?
Oh, first sports memory. Oh, playing hamburger when I was like 5 years old.
What the hell is hamburger?
So like when you lay on the ground, but you facing opposite, so it's like the defender on this side and you on this side, but you're facing this way. And
it's like a one-on-one Oklahoma drill.
Kind of, but you laying down.
Laying down head to head, and you say, get up, and you got to stand up and run at each other?
Yeah.
I know that game. We never called it hamburger.
Yeah, we call it hamburger. What y'all called it?
Just get on the ground, son. Hey.
Yeah, it's called hamburger.
We're going to make a decision today. Who you going to be?
That's one thing I think they should take out of Pee Wee football.
That game makes more basketball players than like AAU camps.
No question. We're going to see where you at.
Yes.
No question.
And you always had that about you. That's why I love blocking for you, because I knew that I was going to go put my head in somebody's chest, and right behind one of my butt cheeks was going to be David Montgomery going about 20 miles an hour with bad intentions to the second level.
For sure.
I love that about you. So, you know what I love about the Detroit Lions is you guys talk a little trash and you back it up. One of my favorite guys at trash talking in the NFL, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
For sure.
I think I would have loved being teammates with that guy, and I hope he would have liked me too. I love his podcast. He does a great job. Who's the worst trash talker in the NFL outside your team? Who does the most that you're like, dude, just shut up?
We don't really have no guys like that.
Who do you play against where you're like, man, I wish he would shut up?
People don't really say nothing to me.
I wouldn't say anything to you either.
Don't nobody really say nothing to me respectively. Like, so I wouldn't really know. Like, I don't say much.
I find that hard to believe that with you out there taking people's souls at the second and third levels of the defense, nobody's getting up and just taking it. They're just taking it.
Ain't nobody saying nothing crazy
from Knuckles.
At least not from what I've heard.
If you were to pick a guy to have a trash talk competition from your roster, since we know that nobody wants to talk trash to you guys, who are you going to send to be your Troy out there out front?
Definitely Saint.
Saint.
For sure.
So that's what you call him, Saint.
Yeah. Definitely Saint.
That's a really good nickname, by the way, because I never know, do I write A-R-S-B? Do I write A-S-B?
Nah, just
but Saint, that's way easier.
So easy.
Okay, we're going to play one more game here. This is called Spot the Difference. I may actually get some help here. Actually, no, I think I got it. Okay, there's two logos. You're going to tell me which one's the right one, which one's the wrong one. And if you say pass, I'll just throw it on the ground, go to the next one. We don't have to waste time.
Which one's right and which one's wrong?
Yeah. Does anything stand out to you? Here, we'll go next. Anything? This one's really tough, too.
The colors?
The colors are correct, David. Okay, there's a minor detail in here. This one swoops up, and this one goes. I think this is the right one.
This is a terrible game.
Well, I'm going to go to the next one.
Where's the Detroit Lions?
We're going to get there.
Okay. Can I spot the difference
Which
here?
one's right?
Oh, I don't. This one's right?
This one's correct.
Yeah, that
Good
one's.
job.
Yeah,
so that's 1 point for David and 2 passes.
This one's
in case
wrong.
We're keeping score.
That one's right.
Yes, because it's got fuzzy ears on the left, and I don't think there's fuzzy ears on the Bills logo.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. You know this one.
That's wrong. That's right.
Yes, this is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Right. Okay.
Ooh. I see the difference. I just don't know which one's right.
Which one feels right?
This one feels right.
This one feels right to me.
Okay, that one feels right. Yeah,
I don't know. Do we have confirmation?
Which one right?
The
That's
one on the
wrong?
right is wrong. So right is wrong.
Right's
okay.
wrong. That's wrong.
Yes. I think all orange is disgusting.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's wrong.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah. That's wrong.
Okay, the Detroit Lions. Because the silver. Okay. We're going to take a break on the game for a second. I want to talk to you about Scouting America.
Let's do it. This
the
is what we're
last
here
time
for.
I had you on the podcast, or no, you were on the show. I was at the desk. You were talking to me about your involvement in Scouting America. How has that grown this past year? What's the most important thing to you about being involved with Scouting America? And is there anything you want to talk to people about?
Yeah, I think scouting has grown immensely over the year, just because they're getting more, I guess you can say, attention towards the actual organization. There's a lot of stuff that people don't really know about scouting. You know, people get these misperceptions that it's not cool or it's just like camping or stuff like that, where it's really not. Like, I've learned a bunch of things that I'm able to use in my everyday life. When I was a quarterback in high school, I was in scouting. Like, there was things I would have questions about that scouting could answer for me without me asking the question. But I think scouting for me is like, it's what helped create who I am.
Who that you play with now do you think would have been a good scout?
Frank Ragnow.
Really? So
Yeah.
he would have been like the scout leader.
No, he probably would have been the commissioner of scouting.
The commissioner of scouting. That's like the top of the.
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah, Frank.
He really strikes me as a good dude, but like a total badass.
Is exactly that.
Now,
Like,
who do you think would benefit most from doing some scouting
who benefit
on
the
your
most?
roster?
Who
Who needs a little? You know what I'm saying?
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
Now, I seen him on Saints Pod.
Yeah.
Those guys are funny. Is there actual beef there?
No.
Because the comment section's buzzing.
No, it's all love. It's all love. Promise
They
you. We talk. We got a group chat together.
I think it's all love.
Yeah, it's all love.
And it's obviously love because he's razzing him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. We all got a group chat. Like, we got a Snapchat group chat. We
You
all
let
be
those
chatting.
guys know that I love their pod.
For sure. I got you. It's easy.
And if I wasn't 40, I'd try to play for the Detroit Lions.
Bet, I got you.
Okay.
You can still come though. Like.
Okay, I'll come hang out.
Yeah,
You guys need
come
coaches.
Play.
You guys need to fill out that upstairs. Hey, David Montgomery, thank you so much for coming on.
For sure.
It's great to see you. Great to hear from you. You look great.
Appreciate you.
Look forward to watching you next year, man.
Yeah, thank you.